Hey everyone. So if you happen to watch the Patio Gym intro video, you might remember that phase two, after fixing the concrete slab, is to enclose the patio just to provide shade and secure any equipment that we have in there. We didn't want to do a full enclosure because that is a lot of expense and a whole other, set of building permits. So we just wanted to separate the space and look nice. So there's going to be two videos for this. One is just the walls, and then there's going to be a second one for how we handle the barn doors. First of all, why this design? Well, we love the modern look of it, but also we wanted to match this wall, which we put up 2 years ago, I believe. And it was just a fun project. We had some extra lumber because that fence we had here, and then we took it down and put the metal fence. So we had a stack of 5-inch wide, 1-inch thick boards, and so we ripped them down to 2.5 inches and put them up here to screen out the mess next door. We had used up those old fence boards a long time ago, so we got some fresh lumber, and the first thing we had to do was rip them down into 2-inch wide slats for us to use. Now, if we weren't trying to match the existing wall, we could have gone with some lumber with a nice even number and cut them in half, but it actually worked out for the best because there were some gnarly edges, a bunch of bowed boards, bent boards, so we were able to trim off that nastiness. Then we had to cut the slats to length, and we had to re-measure every 4 boards or so between the posts because the posts were not straight. So the span between them kind of varied. It actually got wider, I believe, at the bottom. Then we painted the edges and the ends just because they were easier to get to before they're mounted up. Then we attached them to the post, making sure that the right end matched the ends on the blue wall, and we used a little board as a spacer to keep the spacing even. We later learned it was easier to start from the bottom and work up, and once they were mounted up, we could paint the faces with 2 coats of paint. For the side that meets the house, we had to add a 2x4 stud there to mount the slats to. Now everything was spaced evenly and the ends were meeting up, but as we figured out when we were doing the doors, we probably should have been checking level too, because we ended up rejiggering the ends there, unscrewing, rescrewing to get everything to line up, but it turned out all right at the end.